Today's is the what we can say today's chapter, that is part 7, comparison and contrast. Actually, we can find out the gist of Buddha's philosophy or Buddha's teaching here, put in front of us. It was like he was very clear, and it is said here that certain ideas had a firm grip on the mind of the people. Means he put some point in such a way that people understood this, what the Buddha want to say. It is said the Buddha Sasana means Sasana means the rule, we can say. The Buddha's rules on this philosophy, this theory, what he wanted. He gave the points, 8 points here, it's mentioned here, which he had rejected. That is the first one, believe in the infallibility of the Vedas. We had gone through the details, how he had rejected there in earlier chapters, but a point comes out from it that he did not believe in the Vedas purity, we can say. Infallibility, we can understand it as the purity. What they said that Veda was so pure that you cannot question on it, or it is not written by a man. It has come from the inhuman, the one who is not a human or man. It has been written by that. So man cannot question it. So he did not believe in Veda. This is the first point we have to keep in mind when we talk of the teachings of Buddha. The second, belief in moksha or salvation of the soul, that is the ceasing to be born again. Here, as we know, in earlier chapters we had gone through where Siddhartha meets the Bhrigu Rishi, and how the things were going on, what they were practicing it was for the moksha, that is for the salvation. According to them, they want their soul to be salvated after death, and Siddhartha did not want that. So the first, after he became the Parivraja, he rejected to go to Bhrigu Rishi, but lastly he wanted to know what he can get from that, and he did not get anything, and so he rejected moksha and also the salvation of soul. That is, it is mentioned here, it's ceasing to be born again. Because the one who believe in moksha and the soul, they say that the soul is born again, not the body, but the soul is born again. So he rejected that. The third point, believe in the efficacy of rites, ceremonies and sacrifices as means of obtaining moksha. So what the theory was the philosophy was earlier at that time, that was to gain moksha, to obtain moksha. They were going through many ceremonies. They were doing some rituals and ceremonies, even the killing of the animals and all, sacrifices, many things they were doing, and the Buddha rejected, saying that it has no effect. This all ceremonies, all the rites and all the sacrifices have no effect on anything. So he was very clear, and he rejected all the rituals, ceremonies and sacrifices which a Buddhist person who want to understand the Buddha's teaching and to follow it has to keep in mind that rites, ceremony and sacrifices gives nothing. There is no a good result for which we are struggling for, or what result we want. The fourth is believe in Chaturvana as the ideal for social organization. It clearly mentions here that the society, the social organization for the society was dependent on the Chaturvarna. Chaturvarna means the four Varnas, like Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. And he did not believe in it because he explains that it creates inequality among people to people, man to man. Believe in Ishvara as the creator of and in Brahmana as the principle underlying the universe. So he rejected that there is someone who is named Ishvara or the God. This word Ishwar is clearly mentioned here. This Ishwar, he says he does not believe in it, and he even does not believe that this someone named as Ishwar, which is brought in front of everyone, he has created the universe. And there is no such kind of thing, any principle underlying this, who created the universe. So he rejected the concept of the formation of the universe through some unknown person known as Ishvara. The sixth one, it's very important because even though people knowing the Buddha's teachings, following Buddha, they believe in this, that is, believe in Atma or the soul. In day-to-day life, these kind of words we are using it in our speech, like when we say Mahatma. Mahatma means with a great Atma, great soul. This kind of words we always use. We always use that, it is not a connection with our through love, but through the soul, this kind of things we always say. That means somewhere we are accepting the presence of soul in our life, and here Buddha is totally denying that he does not believe in Atma or soul. So to be a Buddhist, we have to be very clear here that we should not believe in soul. If we believe, then we should prove it. It was not proved at the time of Buddha. No one was able to prove and convince Buddha that there is a soul. In later chapters, we'll come to know how people try to convince Buddha regarding this soul and how he questioned, but no one was able to convince him. Now, the seventh is believe in samsara. This is also very important part here. Believe in samsara, that is wandering together, that is transmigration of the soul. Here it is said that samsara means taking birth, and birth we are, that transformation is of the soul, not of the body, they say. So here Siddhartha totally denied this, that after we die, no one knows what happens. So he did not believe that there is a soul after death also, and it's taking a birth again, and somewhere the soul is wandering from one place to another and transmitting to another body, and whatever it is, he totally denied it. And the eighth one, it is believe in karma. That is the determination of man's position in present life by deeds done by him in his past life. Obviously, he believed in karma, but his theory was different. Here, the karma, what he says, is the determination of man's position, means what we are today, at present. It is the result of our past life. He denied that. Means whatever we are now, whether rich or poor, untouchable, or from the one of the highest varna, like high caste, and whatever our life is now, this karma which he denied, it says that everything is happening or it is present now. It's only because what karma you have done in the last past life. But Siddhartha here denied it and says that past life has never been seen by anyone, no one knows about it. So whatever we do now, it is the present. he clearly says the karma, the work we are doing now, we have to be aware that what we are doing now, we get the results now itself, in this life itself. It's not the next life or it's not the past life. So these are the 8 points. We have to be very clear that it has been rejected by Buddha, and he was very well clear in saying or giving us this his education on this, that these points have no value in our life, or they play no role in our life from the birth to death. He never talks of the before birth, and he never talks of after death. Now, these are the first philosophical and religious thoughts he rejected, what it is said here. That was the first point. Now, the second is, in formulating the principles of the Sasana, the Buddha dealt with this old stock of ideas in his own way. Now, all these points, he explained it in own way. Now, again, there are many other points which he rejected, which he said it, he explained it in different way, on his own. What he had found, what he gained the knowledge of. So, he said he condemned indulging in speculation as to the whence, whither, and what I am. Means, from where I am born, how this universe is born, where it has come, where it is going, and all these things, he does not want to indulge in it, or he did not want to involve himself, his thoughts in this kind of things, because it does not give any important we can say result in our life, so he did not want to get involved in it. He did not want to talk of it, like we can say, or we can say he ignored many things. He discarded heresies about the soul and refrained from identifying it with either the body, sensation, violation, and consciousness. So here he says, whatever it is thought of the soul, or after the soul, how the one is identified by body, sensation, violation, and consciousness, he did not believe in that, because he say it is clearly mentioned here. This means someone has nothing, no power, but they show off that they have some power. It is like we can say some kind of magic they are playing. So here it is clearly mentioned that this plays no important role, because it's just a magic, and they just show off. It is no reality in it. And we come to there was Bhikkuni who show that they have some crime, according to Vinay Pitaka, Bhikkuni showing magic, or that power, that they are something different. It is crime for them. So, and such a crime that they can be dispelled from the Sangha, and they won't allow to the Sangha. This such a big showing the magic, and showing that they are something different from other people. So here it is, we can say, how Buddha was very clear that he says no, that he is a man. He is born as any other child is born, and he has no other power, no supernatural power. He has no such kind of things that he is different, and you can call him God or Ishwar or whatever it is. So he is very clear. He does not want to present himself in that way in front of the people, and even he did not wanted others, those who are following him, to present themselves in such a way that they have some supernatural powers, or they can do some magics. And people, general public, lay people, they are always finding where there is a supernatural power. They want to believe it even though they don't get the result what they want, but still they want to believe in such kind of powers, such kind of supernatural powers and some magic, something will happen in their life and they will live a good life. But it's not so. So Buddha here says that we have to be very real, live a real life, not a life which cannot be real. The third point he says, he discarded all the nihilistic views which were promulgated by certain religious teachers. He also denied all this. Some of the religious teachers, they said that there is nihilistic means shunyavad, that everything is created from a zero, like, nothing is there, and created from nothing. So he does not believe in that also, because he knows that everything is created from something or the other, which we'll understand in later chapters. So it is that he did not believe in some teachers saying that it is created from nothing. So we cannot say there is nothing. He condemned such views as were held by the heretics, even like heresies. We said that the magic things. So he did not believe that, because many of the things which are say that we can do this and that is like they are going against the nature. They are doing presenting wrongly in front of others, or we can say they are misguiding people through heretics. He discarded the theory that the cosmic progress had a known beginning. About the cosmic, about the universe, we can say, he denied the theory that there was something known to the people. It has to be founded. We have to find it out. So he says that he did not believe in who says that there is some of the known beginning. Something was always there in the universe, even in the cosmic. So everything is a progress. It's changing and changing. It's always we can say a new thing is from by the earlier things. So he did not believe that. He repudiated the theory that the God created man, or that he came out of the body of some Brahma. By people in India especially, that all the men according to the Varna are born from the body, different parts of the Brahma. So he also denied that. That is said that Brahman is born through the mouth, and like the shoulder, Kshatriya from the shoulder, and the Vaishya from the stomach, and Shudra from the leg. This kind of things he does not believe in, or he denied this, that there is some person who is known as Brahma and who has given birth to this. Even in Christianity we find that in Bible it is said that a woman is born from the side bone of a man. It's impossible, and it is a kind of heretics, we can say, which cannot be proved, because whether men or women, they are born to men and women. So it is not like that someone is creating or giving birth from the body in unnatural way. The body of some Brahma means it's the way it is said that it is unnatural way of giving birth. That is denied by Buddha. Now the fifth point here, it is said that the existence of the soul he either ignored or denied. Ignored means he did not want to talk on this, especially we can say on the soul, because many of the people are not ready to accept the proof. Even the proof, they are not able to prove it that there is a soul, but they are not ready to accept that it is not there, because Buddha said, if it is not proved, you don't have to accept it. But no one is ready to accept in such a way. So, to such kind of people, he ignored talking on soul. Okay, and to some who were knowing, who were understanding the Buddha's teachings, he said that he denies the soul. He says that there is no soul at all. Okay, so those who don't want to believe, or those who want to have such an argument which has no end to it, Buddha ignored to argue with them on this part, because it was just a waste of time and energy which brings no result or no end to this such kind of subjects. But we find that in Buddhism too, many people want us, like Bhikkhu Bhikkhunis, they want the Bhikkhu Bhikkhunis to speak on soul. They want us to speak on rebirth and earlier birth, because they want to know. They have this kind of questions, and they put these questions in front of these people, but they don't want to accept that Buddha says that this talking on soul or rebirth never have any impact on how one should live a happy life or peaceful life. Speaking on this, it's not giving any result, there is no impact on our life. So it's unimportant. It is not at all important to speak on this kind of subjects which plays no role in our day-to-day life from birth to death. So those who in universities also, we find that these topics are giving much importance, and which Buddha has ignored or denied. Anyway, the next then what he modified. There are some theories or some philosophies in earlier chapter we have gone through, like Kapil Muni and all, where some part of it is accepted by Buddha, and that acceptance is not whole acceptance, but acceptance with modification. Means he some points he accepted and he modified and he put in front of people, saying how it helps us. So here it is said that the first point is, he accepted the great grand law of cause and effect with its corollaries. Means he totally believed that there is a law of cause and effect, but it should be proved again. It should be scientific way. It is not like, because earlier there was a cause in past life and the effect is in this present life. He did not believe this, but he believed in what the result effect is. Something is there which is creating something, and it is the effect of that cause, and it is scientifically can be proved in later chapters. He repudiated the fatalistic view of life and other equally foolish view that a God predestined as to what should happen for man from the world. Means again here he refused. Actually people, they say, oh, it's the destiny, because they have the luck. The destiny is always written by God, who has given birth to them, who has brought them to this life. So they give every thing, like something bad happens, they say because God wanted us to do this, so we are doing this. So they are believing on the God's. They say that is the God has decided for them what it is. So whatever in the world is happening, it is because of the God. It's not because of a man do. Our efforts have no value here. The value is given to the God, and which cannot be proved. And so he here rejected, but he says that he does not believe in this, but he believes in what the man does. You know, the third point he says, it discarded the theory that all deeds committed in some former birth have the potency to produce suffering, making present activity important. It's the same thing where it is said it's the power. Here it is talking about the power. Earlier it was something they have the God has decided, but here there is some power, supernatural power we can say. But in the last birth, in the past birth, and this time our efforts have no value and no importance. So he denied all the fatalistic, the above it is again said fatalistic, that is fatalistic view of karma. So what I've done earlier, he says that it should not be accepted. But now what we are doing should be given importance. He replaced the view of karma by much more scientific view of karma. This scientific view of karma will come in later chapters again. So this is the thing, karma, a big chapter is here where he explained all about the karma. So karma is used by earlier philosophers. He accepted that word karma, but the theory, the concept and the philosophy of this karma, he gave his own teachings on it, his own view on it. Now, the transmigration was replaced by the doctrine of rebirth. Again, it is said that taking birth of soul or who is taking birth again, there is a difference. Because it is said that the soul is taking birth and it is called rebirth. That is transmigration, means the body is changed. Okay, it talks on that. That is sansara. It's just moving from one body to another. But the doctrine of rebirth, even by Buddha, is different. Very clearly mentions about who is taking birth, whether body or whatever it is. Will come in next chapter because it's very big chapter again, and very clearly we have to understand this. Now the fifth point he says, he replaced the doctrine of moksha or salvation of the soul by the doctrine of nibbana. So here about the moksha he denied, but he gave his doctrine of nibbana. Many people have very misunderstanding about the nibbana too, because they relate it to moksha. Many of the people say that moksha and nibbana are the same. Just the name is different because moksha is from the Sanskrit word and nibbana is from the Buddha's teachings, but they both are same. So these things also we have to understand what the real doctrine of nibbana is. Some people say that death is a nibbana. That is also very wrong. Wrong concept, misconception among the people. That also we'll be able to understand in later chapters. Now here again he says the Buddha Sasana is an original piece. The little in it which is old is either modified or restated. Means it's a unique kind, we can say. The Buddha's teachings are of very unique. It's very different from what it was at that time told to the people, or even today. What it is accepted by the people, what people know, it is very much different from what Buddha has given his views and his knowledge which he wanted to spread among us. And if we understand the Buddha's real teachings, which is very unique, really our life would also be a very unique life. So we have to understand that we are living the life as others are living, but still we have to live a very modified life. Means not as the others who are just living because they have taken birth in this world, or because they want to have obtain moksha after the death. That is not only the real reason of taking birth or living as a human being. So it's very much different. Now, what Buddha has accepted is given here. The first point is, he talks on the recognition of the mind. Here we can see Buddha is focusing, want us to focus on the mind. A human body has a mind, and it is a very important part of a human body. And this human body is the center of everything. Because if it does not use a mind, I always say you are Buddhist because you are using your buddhi. If you are not using your buddhi, if you are not using your mind, you are not Buddhist. Because everything is dependent on the mind. Whatever is there in the mind, it is the center which is playing its role in the life of a human being. The second, he says, the mind precedes things, dominate them, create them. If mind is comprehend, all things are comprehend. Means, what is happening in our life, in our day-to-day life, we have to understand our mind first, how it's happening. Because whatever mind is doing, we have to understand that. If we understand that mind, we can understand what we are doing, what we are saying, what we are walking through, Whatever things we are doing in our day-to-day life, we should do by understanding our mind, because everything is created in the mind. Even what we are speaking, it is created in the mind. And therefore, a good example we can say, now you are listening because your mind is ready. And what you understand, what your mind understands, you understand. If your mind is denying to understand, you will deny everything. So it is the mind which is creating through knowing something. The mind gets everything to be known, and thus it's create. This is also another way of understanding. In later chapter we'll go. I take a different class on this, on how the mind works. But maybe it won't come in this Buddha and his Dhamma. It is very practically in different class. In later future we can go through it. The third is, the mind is the leader of all its faculties. Mind is the chief of all its faculties. The very mind is made up of those faculties. Here we understand that the mind is leading everything. Whatever our body is made up of many parts, whether it is digestion part, whether it is our heart, blood circulation, or whether other parts, inner parts, or whether we are moving our hand or our legs, whatever we are speaking, they are the different faculties we can say. It can be divided as we go to, we do the medical studies, we find that they are the faculties of different subjects. So every faculty of our body, it is led by the mind. So, and every faculty is connected to the mind. So, it's the chief. So, Buddha says we have to work only on mind. The first thing to attend it to is the culture of mind, the nature of mind. We can say the culture means, we can say it is the nature. Generally, we understand culture as what is present in our day-to-day life, like religious or social or whatever it is. We create this culture, and we have, according to our need, we form the culture and we live like that. But the natural culture of mind, we have to understand how mind works. That we have to understand. So he says, if we understand the nature of a mind, then the second things come. The second distinguishing feature of his teaching is that mind is the fount of all the good and evil that arises within the befalls us from without. Means whatever creation we say, no? Mind creates. So whatever good or bad or evil, it is word is used evil, good or bad we always say. So these things what we do, because it's the nature of the mind, the nature creates this, the thought we can say. The good thought comes in our mind, bad thought comes in our mind, evil thoughts come in our mind, and these thoughts are originated in the mind, which guide the people, the person to do that kind of thing. Whatever is originated in the mind, it's being shown by act, maybe by our speech or by our body action. It is shown, which whatever is created in our mind is shown by that. So it is said that we can't say I am doing bad or I am doing wrong. It is the mind which is created, and the other in the modified thing or in the rejected part we have seen that it is the God or the Ishwar. He is asking us to do this good or bad or evil, whatever it is, whatever act. It is dependent on them. But here Buddha is saying that it is the mind which is guiding you to do this. Whatsoever there is of evil connected with evil, belonging to evil that issues from the mind, whatsoever there is a good connected with good, belonging to good, all issues from mind. This is the same thing. It is explained in detail that everything is in the mind and it is connected to the mind. It belongs to the mind. Now, if it is explained again with an example where it says, if one speaks or acts with a pounded mind, with affliction follows him as the wheels of the cart follow the feet of the bullock who pull the cart. The cleaning of the mind is therefore the essence of religion. This is an example from the Dhammapada. Dhammapada, you must be knowing this. Dhammapada is a part of a Sutta Pitaka, and there the first Vagga, it is called Vagga. There it is. It's talk about the mind, Chitta Vagga. So here it is. It's given one part of where about our trouble. It's talking whatever there is wrong in our mind, evil things are in our mind, and these evil things make us some or guide us to do some act, and how the act reacts. This example shows that the act is like the result, act and result, they are cause and effect, what we say, no? It is like that. Whatever we are doing evil act, it is like the wheel of the cart. Wheel of the cart means a bullock cart is there, and it has a big wheel, very big wheels it has. So this example is given of the bullock cart. When these wheels are moving, it touches the feet of the bullock. The bullock who is pushing the bullock cart forward, while moving, pushing that or pulling that, we can say, pulling the cart, the wheel move in front, and it touches the feet of the bullock and it hurts it. So, what Buddha says, whatever evil you do, it will be like that this evil act will hurt you, how the bullock hurts your leg. The cart wheel hurts the leg of the bullock. In the same way, you will get hurt. So, if you don't want to get hurt, if you don't want to get the trouble, as it is said here, Buddha says it is important that you purify your mind. You clean your mind, and this cleaning of mind is the religion. This is the essence of religion. Here it is said that means religion is nothing else here, according to the Buddha, is but just the cleaning of the mind, or purifying the mind, because no one wants some bad things to happen in their life. They want happiness, they want peace in their life. So if you want this peace and happiness in your life, then you have to purify your mind and live a purified life according to it, happily and peacefully. This is one part of that first stanza of Dhammapada, which is given here. Next it comes, the third distinguishing feature of his teaching is the avoidance of all sinful acts. Now here it is written the sinful acts, avoid sinful acts. It is created in the mind, it is explained earlier. But how this, even though if it comes in a mind, we have to wash it off, we have to clean it. But if you don't clean, it becomes sinful. Many people say sin means pap. It's not pap. According to Buddha's teaching, it is a crime. Doing a crime. So Buddha says, avoid the crime. Avoid sinful act means avoid crime. This can be explained in such a way that we are not doing now yachana, Before taking Trishul Panchashil, we do yachana. The first yachana says, Sabba apradam khamatu me bante. Means whatever crime we have done, please forgive us for that. Okay, this is what the first request in Pali it is there. Oka savanda me bante, dwarate na mayam katang sabba apradam khamatu me bante. Most of the people does not know the meaning of this. They just recite in Pali, but they don't understand. They are asking for forgiveness for the crime they have done earlier. It's not talking about the mistakes. It's talking about the crime. Because in mind it is created. Mistake is natural, we can say, but crime is created in a mind, and that we act to, but that is also unknowingly. Most of the time it is unknowingly. Because we are not knowledgeable, we are ignorant, and we don't know whether it is a crime or not. So it is said that we have to ask for the forgiveness for the crime. And the second request, second yachana is, because we in a life, we should not repeat this after forgiveness. If we don't want to do that crime again, or it should not be done by us, so they request to give Trishul Panchashil. Because taking Trishul Panchashil is avoiding ourselves from doing any crime. So this also, it is not mentioned here, but I wanted to explain this because this two yachana has very most important before taking Trishul Panchashil. And this is because it's the essence of religion. It is said the purification of mind is by avoiding all the sin or all the crime which is created in our mind. It will be created because it's natural. Because good and evil, everything is created in the mind. But it is on our part how we can avoid the evil and how we can do the good. So this is what the teachings of religions is. This is the essence of religion is, and this is the Buddha's teachings. The fourth distinguishing feature of his teaching is that real religion lies not in the books of religion, but in the observance of the tenets of the religion. That is, we always see that we are reading the books, we are listening to people, or we are listening to even the teachers, and many people We are following the rituals, traditions, and whatever it is. But religion is not that, what Buddha says. It is the real principles of Buddha. Tenets. Tenets means the real principles of Buddha, and we have to observe that. Observance of, like what we start with Rishal Panchashil. So observing the Rishal Panchashil is the real start to know the Buddha's teachings. Other things come later, but we have to purify our mind by observing Rishal Panchashil. And this is what the Buddha says, and this is what he has accepted, and he wants us to accept it. If we want to follow Buddha, we have to accept all these things, and with pure mind. That is the very important part now. So we have to work on our mind, work on the act what we want to do, and how we want a life to live happily and peacefully. So I think this is the part chapter we have completed here. Book 1, part 7. I hope everyone has understood it. It was very important part. And please go through it after completion of this also, so that you can do, we say, chintan karna chahiye, means we should revise in our mind again and again what we have learned, what we have heard, what we have read, and that will do the exercise in our mind, and it will create good things in our mind, avoiding all the evils. Okay, thank you, Jai. Namo Buddhaya.
I have a question, Bhante.
Yes.
With respect to that soul. So, as far as I understand it, does Buddha say there is no soul at all? Because these are questions he refused to answer as indeterminate, is what I've thus far understood. He didn't entertain these questions. He didn't think they were important
in public.
Yeah.
He did not in public, but with the bhikkhus he talked on it.
Okay. So one thing is that, and the other question I have is whether he said there is no soul at all, or there is no permanent soul or essence.
Actually, we'll come to this chapter in later chapters. Will go through this. Okay, but but here it in the first part we can find here it says 104 page, the 7th point, the existence of the soul he either ignored or denied.
Okay.
Means both parties there. In general public he ignored because they were not able to understand his views, and he denied totally in while he was explaining to the Sangha.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante ji.
Yes.